Beach bags are terrible. They are like Mary Poppins bag, you never know what's in there. And I'm going to make a little pouch bag so the little things don't get to Narnia. Pouch bags and toiletry bags usually have a lining, and it's really nice with your lining in because all the seams are hidden. But if you are going to the beach, sand can get everywhere and it can even get in between the fabric. So I was thinking that maybe it's not ideal because it can get stuck in between your lining and your fabric. So even though they are much nicer, I'm going to make it just with one layer of fabric. So I'm going to try and make it the neatest as possible on the inside. With all our pieces cut, we're going to start with the handle and getting the top hem of the pockets ready. The pockets are then sewn on the wrong side of the big panels. And once the zip has been sewn, we can finish our bag sewing it with a French seam, first on the outside and then on the inside. And the materials we're going to be using is just the fabric and the zip. And to make it, I have this really nice material. It's a canvas and I used it for a dress I made years ago and it doesn't fit me anymore, such a pity. But I think it's ideal for this project, really summery and colorful. So basically I'm going to cut 2 rectangles of material the same size or the same length as my zip. Not where the zip is, but longer. And that's because I'm going to make a French seam so you don't see the seams inside. And the top bit where the zip is going to be sewn, it will be hidden as well because we're going to hem it inside. We're going to make a double hem so it's hidden as well. Because it's only one layer of material and it hasn't got any lining or interfacing, it's not going to have much consistency. Nevertheless, I'm going to add some pockets so your phone or your keys are not randomly dancing around. And I'm going to add a handle, so when you go to the Chiringuito to get an ice cream or a drink, you can hold it easily and it's nice and comfy to carry. The first thing I'm going to do is to get things ready, and the handle needs to be folded twice to the inside so you can't see any edges. And then the pockets, the same with the top bit of the pocket, not the rest of it, because that I will do when I sew it to its panel. When you're going to sew something easy that doesn't really need any busting, you leave the pins in the stuff. But you leave it horizontally so the needle jumps on top of it and doesn't break. But if one of the seams is this narrow and you are forced to lift the pins vertically, you should lift them pointing to the needle, so when the machine gets to them, you can easily pull them out and continue sewing without any problem. I'm going to press the 3 edges of the pockets so they are easier to sew to the panels. And then I'm going to press as well the top bit of the 2 panels, so then when I sew the zipper it is nicely hemmed. And to sew zip-seam, I really like a method which is to sew the panels like you were not going to put a zip on, and then sew the zip in that seam and open the seam. I know you are wasting a seam, but the zip looks really neat. I'm going to sew it with a French seam. Why a French seam? Because I'm not putting a lining in, and that way the seams won't be seen or rip out. And we have to take into account that we're going to put the handle where it goes, because we're going to sew right on top. And now that it's sewn, I'm going to cut the corners so I can then turn it inside out and sew the last stitch. So this is it. I think it looks really neat. It looks nice, it's useful, it has 2 little pockets for your phone or small stuff you don't want to lose. And the thing is that I love French seams because everything is hidden and they look really neat, but it is true that the corners look a bit bulky on the outside, but there's nothing you can do there. But I decided not to line it because I thought that sand gets everywhere and it will get in between the lining and the fabric. So I didn't want that. I just want a simple bag you can wash and get rid of the sun easily. And I quite like the handle because when you close it, you are sure that the zip is closed and you're holding it, so nothing will fall. I made another two just to show you and to make sure that you can easily make it in under 40 minutes. It's quite a simple project and it's really enjoyable. I think my favorite is this one. I like the cactus one, but I think this one is really nice as well. So here you have it. It's a good little project to use remnants and it's really useful. I hope you find it useful as well, and don't forget to subscribe or to share with a friend, and let me know down in the comments what your thoughts and any suggestions. And we'll see you next week. Bye!